Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the range. Today we're doing another video in Today we're doing a video in 500 JRH. Should be a good time. Let's get shooting. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We have a BFR biggest, finest revolver from Magnum Research, and it is chambered in JRH. JRH stands for Jack R. Huntington, who is the creator of this round. Big bore handgun cartridge designed by him, created to provide a powerful 50 caliber option that could be chambered in smaller, more packable revolvers, other than the massive 500 Smith Wesson. And so, yeah, that's really what is different, is that this is sort of the middle. I mean, this is still a big gun. This is still about as big as a end frame, but it's definitely smaller than an X frame Smith & Wesson. And so that's kind of the point of it. Again, single action, so a little bit lighter, but this thing is still pretty hefty. Huntington began work on it in 1993. Then original target was the Freedom Arms Model 83, so that it would fit in the smaller version of that, the Model 83, and not the bigger version of it. And so it uses the shorter case length. It's 1.4 inch. I think the 500 Smith & Wesson is like, I don't know, 1.6 inches. And then this 500 Smith & Wesson Special is 1.3 inches. So it's just a little bit longer than that, though I've heard you can use loads from 500 Smith & Wesson Special up in this. So finding cases is a little bit of that, because you either have to trim the 500 Smith & Wesson down, or you upload a little bit the special rounds, although are the special rounds strong enough? So probably better to trim down. Or like me, I was able to get my hands on some cases from the folks at Buffalo Bore, who does make ammunition for this, and then I plan to do my own hand loads. Started becoming commercially available in the 200s, Starline producing the brass, which is I think where I got it from Buffalo Bore. I think Grizzly Cartridge was also making some rounds for this. It can be fired out of 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum. It's a little bit downloaded from that. Think about it as in between 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, below 500 Linebaugh, but above 500 Smith & Wesson Special. And yeah, and so I've got it. You can get it apparently in the Freedom Arms still, but I got it in the biggest, finest revolver out there. So what's the target for this? Well, really for me, it's probably just range use and just having fun with it. But it's also, hey, I think this would be a heck of a thing if you're ever doing fly fishing in coastal Alaska. This is going to get the job done. Again, that 500 bore, the half-inch bore with those hard cast projectiles, that's cutting a massive hole in just about any animal out there. How many shots are you going to be able to get off against a charging grizzly? Can you get off 10 shots? Maybe. Can you get off one shot? Yeah, but if it's a 500 JRH, you're probably going to do a lot better off than getting, no shots, or than getting just one shot off of your 9mm. So that's kind of thing. Of course, these big bores, you aren't going to get follow-up shots quick. So we're going to work a little bit of options. We're going to shoot some really low recoil stuff as I'm just kind of getting started with this, and then maybe get up, I don't know, we'll see, maybe get up to the highest stuff with this revolver, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Should be a good time. Let's get to shooting. Okay, we have our BFR 5.5 inch 500 JRH single action gun out here. We have a 500 JRH. We have the Buffalo Bore low recoil. This is my very first shot with this big bore buddy. I'm not too confident on how it could go. This could be the very first time that you see someone smack themselves in the face with this kind of camera. All right, I've been building up for this one. We'll see how it goes. Trying to lock my wrists out. Oh man. The low recoil's not bad. It's low recoil. That's why they call it low recoil. That's supposed to be going probably out of a longer barrel. It's a 440 grain pill, supposed to be getting 900 energy foot-pounds. That thing is nuts. Let me show you one of the rounds. This is 380 ACP. This is 500 JRH. We are not the same. Look at the size difference in these two. You can't even see the 380 next to it. Because that's, yeah, 440 grains. That's pretty cool. This is the low recoil load, so it's only doing 1,000 energy foot-pounds out of this revolver. So, all right, this is kind of fun. This was fun. I like these low recoil loads. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I got to get used to doing that a little bit though, because when I go to the higher loads, it's going to do that, and I don't want to hit it, come back and hit me in the head. But dang, these are fun. They aren't just pussy cats. They aren't like 44 Special. Hey, I got one more round. Let me get the chronograph out real quick. So again, this is the 440 grain. This is their low recoil load from Buffalo Bore. We do have our Garmin 0C1 out. Let's see how this sucker does. See if we can get a reading. I hope we have. I've been having some issues. Looks like it caught it. 991 feet per second, which you think, gosh, Trickabar, that's not going very fast. What we're seeing there, it's 959 kinetic energy. It's a 440 grain bullet going 950 feet per second. I'm pretty sure that could do it for anything in North America. Like it's gonna do it. It's gonna get the job done. Really hesitant to get out the full power stuff. Why don't I work my way up? I'm not gonna get out the full power stuff today. I don't want to break my wrist or my arms. I'm gonna get some feedback from some of you all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out their mono metal, which you can't load as high as pressure because the bullets have to be so much bigger. This is a lighter load. It is a, well, not much lighter, a 400 grain round. Mono metal, solid copper, supposed to be going 1,300 feet per second. So it's going to start jacking up on the energy foot-pounds here. It won't be as beefy as some of the highest loaded stuff. So we will do one of these. Again, our single action, we're going to start unloading the single action. If I know what I'm doing. Look at these cases. Gigantic cases. So I have a suspicion this is going to hurt like I'm sure I am going to flinch like but we are going to load that solid copper. And I don't have a Garmin out. We're just going to shoot this sucker and, you know, probably go to the hospital after that. So that's where we're at. Yeah, smashed my finger into the trigger guard. If anyone has good ideas of what I just did wrong, it's not that bad. Like it's not, I didn't smash it in terms of like my finger's broken or anything like that. I'm not crying. Don't worry, guys. I'm not crying. Not that bad. Not that different, in fact, from me shooting 44 Magnum. I just don't know if I got it high enough or it needs to be lower. I don't know. But 500 JRH. That's kind of a fun gun. It's kind of fun. Like it's fun shooting light and small guns, and then you go out with the big boomers, and yeah, that's a fun one. Dang, I am super happy. This is awesome. This is freaking awesome. I'm in love. That's so cool. Okay, well, what do y'all think of my new pocket pistol and No, we're talking about the 500 JRH. That's right. We had a good time shooting that today. I shot only one full power load. My hands are fine. My hands are not shaking. I just shot one. That's all I have time for doing today. Just a quick video to get this out. I want to get some feedback from some folks. This is Kodiak Nightmare's brother. So Kodiak Nightmare is a gun that Mountain Man, who has a channel on YouTube, has named one of his guns. That's a kind of kissing cousin to this, same size, same company, so on and so forth. And this is basically the same thing, so I'm calling it its brother. And he's been giving me a little bit of help. He's been shooting big bores for quite a while. Hopefully the Turkey's Opinion will get on here, maybe Brad Branch, some others that like those big bore guns, maybe Wyoming Gun Project. Give me some advice on how to shoot these big single actions. I don't want to get ahead of my skis, so to speak, before I turf it too far on this. But so far it wasn't that bad. But my fear was that I'm going to slam that knuckle into the trigger guard on the higher power loads. Sure enough, that's what I did. Not too bad. I've done that with my 44 mags. Would love to hear people's comments, like how do you manage that recoil on these big revolvers without smacking your hands into the trigger guard in front. The Beasley grips help with that because you can get quite a bit loaded further back. Again, on these, Mountain Man's been teaching me, you want to get that wrist locked out, elbow turned in, then you can handle it a little bit better. And so yeah, just keeping maybe my knuckles like this, a little bit further away from that trigger guard is the dealio. All right, well, that's what I got on tap for today. I'm not an expert in that, but I thought I'd show this. There aren't tons of videos on these out here, so I thought I'd get mine up and let her rip. I think this is a fun gun. Let me know what you all think about big bores. Hope everyone has a great week. Let's get shooting.
From pistols to rifles, we'll take on the best. Reviewing each weapon, put them to the test. With revolvers and shotguns, we'll break it all down. The Second Amendment protects from the crown.